3D viewing. Here are your priming questions. This presentation is simply an expansion of the last slide from the last video where we talked about polarization, where each eye gets a different image. And so here's where I want to talk about the way our eyes work and the way images that we see are actually formed. Our eyes actually are only the data input that we get, the visual input, and our eyes sample at a rate of around 60 hertz. So we get 60 frames per second, and there are billions of bits of information that are brought in through our retinas, through our nervous system, and into our brain. Our brain then takes this data from each separate eye and forms it into the image that we see, which is how we're able to see in 3 dimensions. Our brain is what formulates the image for us to be able to see depth. It can take the data separately from each eye, compile it together into a cohesive image that we see. So a way to take advantage of this from a 2-dimensional standpoint are stereograms. And so a stereogram is an image that can appear to have depth if each eye focuses on a different view. The example here is a bit of an old analogy now, but Magic Eye, which I'll show you a couple of, uses this. And if you look at these 2 squares, it looks like a garbled bit of information here. What you want to do is you want to slightly cross your eyes so that the 2 squares overlap. What you're actually doing is causing each eye to focus on each side, and when it does that, your brain will then be able to compile that information into an image that has depth from a single 2-dimensional set of images. So I'm going to go through a series of these, and hopefully at home you'll still be able to see this work. And so you should be able to see some depth when you overlap these 2 squares, and you should be able to see an image with 3 dimensions. And we'll do some practice in class as well. So this is just to show you depth. This is very similar to a Magic Eye poster, and when you overlap 2 similar portions, you should begin to see depth. And this one should look like a dragon head. For this one, when you do this, you should be able to see depth of our galaxy, so you can see the different stars and you can see their relative positions when you overlap the 2 sections. Now, another interesting thing is our brain interprets data a little bit differently. And so if you click on this link, if you go here, there are some optical illusions. So things will appear to be different sizes, but actually be the same length or the same dimensions or be parallel. Or you will appear to see something that actually isn't there, or you'll see movement. And these are different visual tricks that people have discovered for the way our brain interprets information. So here are some more priming questions, or here are the priming questions, and we'll go through some more of these in class and discuss this more in class.